Hey guys, this is Rick coming at you with Weed to No Basis, the podcast for all things cannabis business related. Are you an entrepreneur? Have something you wanted to create, something you wanted to bring to life in the cannabis industry? Maybe you've always wanted to partake in one of the biggest industries in modern day history. This is the podcast to listen to. Hey y'all out there in Weed to No Basis world, this is Rick and welcome to the next edition of Weed to No Basis. And remember, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, it's because you're on a Weed to No Basis. So we're here as usual in our studio slash Hemp HQ or Hemp Q. Hemp headquarters, yeah, Hemp Q. And you know what's interesting is sometimes the topics that we want to address just kind of emerge out of nowhere, but they're usually relevant. And that's what I like to do, is find things that aren't necessarily like this is a cannabis topic, but really maybe a business, entrepreneurial, or life topic that has a tremendous amount of relevance to you as a cannabis startup entrepreneur or wantrepreneur, whatever. And I don't mean wantrepreneur in a bad way, so don't take that wrong. And the thing today is that I want to talk about the F word, an F word. This is working family safe, just to be clear. I'm going to address an F word today, okay? And it's the F word we all don't love, but absolutely should. And I want you to pay attention closely, because for a lot of folks, this isn't really relevant to entrepreneurship, but to the ones who are the most successful, it is probably one of the most critical elements to success. And the F word I'm talking about is fitness. And let me tell you why that's important. You see, because on our website, my website, greenseedcannabisco.com, we clearly state on there our core values. And because the business is me, honestly, it's just myself, the core values are my core values. And my core values are based around four words, four F words. It's faith, family, freedom, and fitness. But the one I want to point out and really hone in on today is the last F word. And it's the F word that a lot of folks just abhor. We don't like it. It scares people and we don't want to include it. And sometimes it's because we think we don't have time for it. Faith, family, freedom, and fitness. And the reason why that's relevant today is because I rushed up for a recording session, and so Chris, the producer, is right behind the camera. And my day today, so on recording days, it's like super regimented, literally by hour to hour for the remainder of the day. And then tonight, a good friend is flying in, a business partner, so we've got a busy day. But the reason why I mention that is because I have to get my workout in. Whether it's a quick 20 minutes, whether it's an hour long, kind of mindless thing, whatever it is, guys, I had to get it in today. And I knew I had a very chopped up, methodical day. So I rushed downstairs to get a quick 20-minute workout and thinking, I'm going to get upstairs to the studio before we start recording. And, no harm, no foul. I'll be all nice and clean and primped before we go on camera. But Chris beat me here. So I walked in the door and I was still like literally sweating. And I had a towel on, and I literally just come from the gym. And we have a gym here in our complex, so it's right downstairs. That's why I was like still sweating. I run upstairs and Chris is already here setting up. And I'm like, damn it, he beat me here. And I got to rush and I'm sweating, I'm this. But as I was rushing through the mental, getting ready and cleaned and my uniform on, I realized that that's something that the important piece there was the fact that I chose not to skimp on a pivotal F word, and that's fitness. But I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to share with you, because for a lot of folks, it's still, you might be thinking, Rick, I just don't have the time. I don't have the luxury. I work 8 to 5 and then I have kids and a spouse and I get it, folks. I get that we've got a lot of stuff. So I want to make this more impactful. And here's where I really, really, really want you to turn off all the things around you and pay attention for just about 3 to 4 minutes. It was a normal, quiet night, one night in the ER. And the phone rings. We call it the bat phone. In an ER trauma room. And guys, I've been an ER trauma nurse for a long time. I haven't practiced in a while, but it was a normal kind of, I'm going to use the Q word, a quiet night. It's a word we don't use in the ER, but it was a quiet night. And then the bat phone rings, and the charge nurse, it wasn't me that night, it was another charge nurse, answers the phone. And when they answer the phone, we know when the bat phone rings, first of all. For the bat phone, just to be clear, guys, I'm using language that you may not be used to. It's the phone that rings when there's an ambulance coming in. When the ambulance calls in, they have to ring us on a landline or a phone, and we get a report as to what's going on. But we pick up the bat phone, and when the bat phone rings, we all kind of stop for a second to see what's going on. But this time, we could hear what was going on. We heard sirens. And the sirens, when you hear the bat phone and sirens coming out, that means there's an ambulance coming in hot. They're coming in code 3, full battle rattle. Basically, something's up. And so when we hear the sirens, we immediately begin to go kind of into ER nurse mode. So anyway, long story short, guys, the nurse takes report, the ambulance comes in, and kind of like what you see in the movies, there's 2 paramedics and they're bringing the stretcher in, and there's a person on the stretcher, a gentleman who looks a lot like you or me or your dad or your uncle. He was a 50-something-year-old guy, and he looked scared. And they were kind of rushing him in, and we had a room ready, brought him into the room, we pulled him onto the stretcher, the ER trauma bay stretcher, and immediately the team goes to work. The doctor, the ER physician asks questions, and the nurses, us, and I'm in this room, guys. This is live. This is happening. I'm there. This wasn't something I saw or heard. I was one of the nurses taking care of this fella. So the nurses start triaging him. We ask him questions. How old are you, sir? What's your name? And guys, this is an absolutely true story. And we could also tell, at least I could tell, that he was scared shitless. Probably something he's never experienced before. And guys, as nurses, as clinicians, we want to make sure we mitigate that fear. But the fact is, we have work to do. And so we ask him questions. How old are you, sir? You know, what were you doing? Tell us a little bit more about you. The reason why they had brought him in is what's called an MI, a heart attack, a myocardial infarction. He was having a heart attack, like a legitimate heart attack. So we put the patches on him, and we start an IV, and there's stuff dripping, and you hear the beeps and the sounds and the things and the curtain. And then what happens, guys, is then a family member walks in, and they don't walk into the trauma bay, but we can see him in the window, and it looks like his wife. It looks like his wife, and she looks as scared as him, and she's crying. And so we continue asking this gentleman questions, and the doctor's doing his stuff. And we do the best we can, guys, and we tell him it's going to be okay. You know, you're in good hands. And as the doctor starts asking him, and we start writing down his health history, he says something that was pretty critical. But before he says that, somebody else walks in, and it looks like his daughter. It looks like his daughter, and she's a grown woman, and the daughter is holding a baby, his grandkid. So suddenly his wife is there and his daughter's there, and his daughter's kind of bouncing the baby to keep the baby from crying because there's a lot of noises. It seems chaotic, guys, but it's absolutely controlled. And then a third person walks in. Before this patient tells us what he's about to say, the third person walks in, and it's his son. So folks, suddenly he's surrounded by the people he loves most, the people who rely on him. And he proceeds to tell us this. He says, I should have listened. And we say, what do you mean? And as he's telling us, he turns his head to the side so he can see his family, and tears come out of his eyes. I kid you not, guys. Tears come out of his eyes, and he said, I should have listened. And he said, listen to what? He said, to my doctor. And I said, what do you mean, sir? And he says, I should have listened to my doctor when he said, guys, and this is where you fill in your blank. You need to lose 20 pounds. You need to go walk 3 times a week. You need to take better care of yourself. You need to stop the hustle and grind because you're no good to anybody when you're sick. And he basically says, I should have listened to my doctor when he told me 6 months ago. When he told me 6 months ago, I need to really smell the roses, take care of myself. I need to go exercise, join a gym, go for a walk, do Aikido, Tai Chi, whatever that is, guys. But he didn't. Because he was so in tune to the grind. He was so driven, and he's full of hustle and this. And he didn't. And he had a heart attack. He had a legitimate heart attack. He was okay. Just to be clear, guys, there's no sad ending here. It ends that he did have a legitimate heart attack. His family was there. It was very scary. And the fact is, guys, is even as experienced trauma nurses and physicians who were in the room, we still don't know. We still don't know. Here's the beauty of what he said. I should have listened 6 months ago. You, right now, the F word, that a lot of people abhor, they don't want to pay attention to, but it's the most critical one ever, fitness. You right now are looking into a crystal ball. You can make the conscious decision of taking care of yourself today. Go for a walk, do some push-ups, sit-ups, get a video and watch it, do yoga at home, go join a gym, go do CrossFit, go do whatever it is, guys. But here's the thing, your 6 months ago began today. Today. Maybe you're in the position where you feel or think you don't have time to take care of yourself. I want you to think of that patient we took care of. Guys, and there was a lot more like him. A lot more. Stressful jobs, stressful lives, entrepreneurship, businesses, things like that. Guys, if you don't take care of you, we will take care of you. Guys, and you're no good to your family, to your company, to your startup, to your business, to impacting the cannabis industry in a big way if you're in an ER because you didn't listen 6 months ago. Today is your wake-up call. 6 months ago begins today. So that's why I make it a point. That's why on my Instagram page, @PlanetBoy, every day, at least 5 to 6 days a week, I will make a post. Not to show off, not to say, hey world, look at this 50-year-old guy working out. It's because I give a shit about my family. I give a damn about my business. I give a damn about myself. So much so that I make it a point to get to the gym. And that's why today I rushed up here. I rushed up here thinking I'm gonna beat Chris, the producer, dripping sweat. But guys, I had to do it because I'm no good to the world, and neither are you if you're sick or dead. That's a powerful message. It sometimes is very deep. And maybe, guys, maybe you have fallen prey to the thing that patient did. All I'm saying is that your 6 months ago begins today. You have the choice. You have the opportunity. Do not let yourself down because you are no good to the world. Ill, sick, or dead. That's the truth. My core values are faith, family, freedom, and fitness, guys. And fitness not because I want to be the six-pack dad or I got to do the Ironman. Fitness because we have to take care of ourselves. We're no good if we're not at our best, at our physical, healthy, optimal. Do it, guys. Today was one of those messages. It's not a business thing. It's not a marketing tip. It's not some sort of strategic envisioning tactic. Today is about you. It's about you. I'm going to predict that this episode will get the most views. Because what we like to do is bring the things that sometimes you aren't thinking about, that have the biggest impact on your life and your business. Really appreciate you guys listening today. It means a lot. We got some more cool stuff coming at you. But remember this, guys, today is your 6 months ago. Today is you have a crystal ball. Today you get to peer into it and think, today I can begin to do something to help me be better, stronger, fitter, faster, so that I can make my mark on the world. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening. Let this sink in for a while. Let it sink in. Don't let this be the episode that you listen to and say, that was good, and then click and play the next one. Think about what you heard. It's true. 110% true. Really appreciate you guys tuning in today. My workout's done. But seriously, if you follow me personally, that's @PlanetBoy on Instagram, you're gonna see, guys, I'm pretty routine. The things I talk about, we absolutely execute in our life and business. I just got back from the gym. If you were to look at today, it disappears in 24 hours on Insta stories, but got a quick and dirty 20-minute workout in, guys, because we owe it to ourselves. Remember, if you're here, if you're listening, if you're paying attention, it's because you too are on a weed to know basis. See you guys next time. Talk to you soon. Peace.